Hey guys. Hello. If you're rewatching this video, Jessie. This is harder than I thought it would be. Lies. I'm gonna say it. Such a lie. Oh my god. Hello, my people. Hi. Hello. It's Jessie. The Barbie shirt, the hung up One Direction vinyl. I am living my childhood dream. No one can be like, Jessie's changed for the worse, because honestly, I probably could use some change in my 4 years ago, I uploaded a YouTube video called I'm Anorexic. I was blunt. I, for the first time in my life, basically, am going to watch that video. I never watched it. I said what I said and sent it to my editor, who's amazing at editing this video. Hi, I love you. But I never watched it over because I was terrified to watch myself be that vulnerable. I think it's different to talk about something you've been through in the past versus something you're like actively still going through. So we're doing it almost 5 years later. I'm kind of nervous. Hey guys. I know I said I would not talk about anything eating disorder related again on my channel, and I took a little break and I redecided that I like the impact I'm making when I talk about my recovery from anorexia. It's something I'm just so passionate about, I don't want to completely stop talking about it. I know I'm going back on my words, and I really did think I was gonna quit talking about it forever, and I do still 100% want to be seen and recognized for more than just who I was when I had an eating disorder. But I think we can, in a healthy way, reflect on how far we've come and advocate for eating disorder recovery without making it my whole life and making it seem like I'm just constantly living in the past. I'm literally saying that while I like have this One Direction vinyl hung up. I've talked about this on my page. If you don't know, I had a One Direction fan page. Niall's butt cheeks. My people. That video changed my life. Recovering from an eating disorder, first off, from anorexia specifically, changed my life the most and was the best decision I ever made. But there was like this awkward period of time where people saw me going through that and I was in denial, so I wasn't able to be honest. And that was, you know, the first time in my life I'd ever been honest with anyone besides a therapist about my eating disorder. That video changed the way I was able to communicate with all of you. I think it'll be really cool to reflect on this years later and see how far I have come. And I'm glad I'm watching it now with all of you years later than at the time, because maybe I would have like chickened out and not uploaded that video. So I'm glad I did it. I have no regrets, but I'm scared to watch it. Hello, my people. I always say my people. Oh my god, I hear my camera focusing. What a weird thing to focus on. Okay. Am I crazy, or was I talking with my mouth almost more closed here? That was probably a confidence thing. You guys all just understand me so well, which was something I never had growing up, and I feel like I understand you all as well. Oh. If I gave off the impression that I was just a baby in my videos, I really was just a baby. I love that I always would put like all this gay in the back. I was like, guys, do you know I'm gay? That has nothing to do with the video. I promise I'll listen, but I just haven't gotten into like the intense parts of this. I've just been hiding something from everyone for so long. The hiding this from everyone thing was such an actual thing. I got so many texts from people I knew well, but I never talked about this with after this video, and it made me so anxious. I felt perceived in a very different way. The hiding my hair and my face. No, we're not doing that. I made a whole video about that recently. Oh, this is me in 2019 at the worst point in my whole life. I had just recovered from anorexia and gained 70 pounds. I thought Everyone thought I looked terrible because I gained weight. So in every photo, I would hide half of my face in my hair, or I thought I had to hide my body with my arms. I don't know, it's sad. Anyways, fast forward, I was at an event this week and I took a carpet photo, and guys, look! My whole face is showing, my arms not covering my body at all. Guys, like, am I like starting to love myself? Not to point it out, but you know when it's myself, I'm allowed to point it out. I was gaining weight and I was breaking out at the same time. It was like two very scary and new things related to appearance at once. I mean, I will say I was just emo in general, so I'm just like such a serious subject, and like a talking point is that I was emo, but it wasn't always that intention. But after I recovered, it became something that was like a little more than just me being emo, if you know what I'm saying. That's another thing. I'm still so not used to it that I'm using the word it and I'm not naming it. I guess I say it now. I'm like, yeah, I had anorexia, but I guess at the time it's scary, and also denial is such a big part. Like, you just never think you're sick enough. People that have gone through this know exactly what I'm talking about. You are like, but that person's more sick than me, or no, it's just in my head. Don't want to be back in that mindset ever again in my life. Before I'm really serious, something to make me feel better. Look how cute this filming background is. I was so soft baby. When did my personality change? I've seen too much. I've seen too much. Obviously, if you think you're gonna get triggered, you don't have to watch this, because I know people will probably still watch it because I used to do that. Oof. Interesting, because like I just never told anyone anything related to my eating disorder, and now I'm just like outing myself. Like, damn. This is something that really helped me when people talked about how horrifying the symptoms are, horrible, potentially lifelong consequences of your actions. That was what really made me realize this is serious. I definitely would have worded that differently now. Sorry, my neighbors are literally right there. It's like already hard to film and they're just staring at me. I'm perceiving myself and other people are perceiving me in very new ways. Probably because of my eating disorder, now I have a lot of health issues that I never had in my life. It's hard not to just sit there and blame myself. But at the end of the day, it wasn't my actions, it was a mental illness. It's not easy to recover. Some people never recover. So I want to give myself grace here. Consequences is just such a harsh word for something that is a mental illness, you know, and is difficult and not easy to overcome. I looked up a lot of the long-term symptoms, and that was something that did motivate me to recover, actually. I kind of scared myself. I feel like I need to name it. Can you do it for me? Why is it making me uncomfortable? I don't know. It's too much perceiving myself. I can feel the nervousness off the screen for me. It's making me nervous. Okay, I want to skip myself naming it. I was always talking about these topics, but I never really addressed why certain topics were so relevant. That's true with the gay content. I'm just like a huge ally. Like, I just love the LGBTQ+ community. I did that with so many things. I probably talked about like body positivity in a very general way, and that was like my way of taking things I was experiencing without having to be like, hey, I have this thing. I'm really proud of myself because I feel like I've actually been talking about why I am so passionate about, for example, the LGBT community. Told you. Want you all to know I'm a lot better now. Lies. I'm gonna say it. Such a lie. Oh my god. I was not better. I don't know if I've ever publicly said this online. I definitely got comments. People definitely noticed. I went through a relapse right after I uploaded this video. It was the weirdest time of my life. I was posting all this content about being recovered because I was recovering, and then I started looking worse again. Oh, it's like coming back to me. I started getting a lot of comments from people saying, you look so healthy, and I was not ready for those comments, which I know to a person that hasn't had maybe specifically anorexia or certain eating disorders, it might sound super confusing. Who wouldn't want to be told they look healthy? Healthy is a good thing, you know what I mean? Like, I'm grateful for the ways I am healthy now. Calling someone that's recovering from anorexia healthy, if they're not in a good mindset, is gonna set them back, and I didn't know that. And everyone meant really well. I hold no hostility towards anyone. That was my own fault. I was preaching about recovery and clearly not in a good headspace. I have kept a lot of my recovery private because I didn't really want to be public until I was a lot better. Made sure I was really practicing what I was preaching. Lies. I'm so sorry. Lies. Barely better. Jessie Page was born on March 12th, 1999. Why am I giving my life story? You know what? If this made me feel more comfortable, I love it. I look gay in that pic. It looks like maybe like I was born to be masked, but I changed and I decided to be the most femme gay you've ever seen. I want to play with the femme maskness more. Why is a baby picture like bringing this up for me? But it was a form of something called orthorexia. Orthorexia is when you're addicted to being healthy to a fault. Whew. This is harder than I thought it would be. That was the first time I'm gonna talk about this, What am I gonna say? Don't cry. What am I gonna say? It was the first time I started to get symptoms of being underweight. Like, for example, not having your period. Oh my god. Can I be honest, guys? I kind of am cringing. I mean, she was so baby, but why am I being so hard on my younger self? Here's the thing, I have no shame talking about it now, but at that point in my life, I was very shy still, and I felt embarrassed to talk about that. That is a very real and normal thing that does happen a lot of the time with anorexia, is you lose your period. This makeup is so mature for me. Well, honey, I have news for you. She just got more immature. I'm wearing a Barbie shirt, so. Certain people basically are prone to eating disorders. That was when I realized I definitely am. I was a little bit of a perfectionist, so there's definitely an overlap between people that have anorexia and people that can be perfectionistic, so like, I think that's what I meant there. My family was also triggering because when certain people in my family would gain weight, it was always an idea of like, oh, they're unhealthy, they're not happy. I did not know I brought my family up in this. Expanding on that, I had a family that dieted a lot. People did call my parents very concerned. I had people I was working with calling and concerned. My parents were very much so in denial. And also you have to remember, I was since 17, 16-ish, living alone in Los Angeles. Like, I had a very separate life from my parents. I was an adult before maybe a lot of other people were full-on adults, so I was in charge of myself, I guess, which is really sad, but I think it's definitely grown a stronger person for sure. I got to a healthy weight again, and I noticed it a lot too much. I did Guilty Party season 1. I couldn't even watch like half the episodes. If you don't know, I did this YouTube show that I acted in called Guilty Party. I remember like I turned to a friend and I was like, do I look skinny in this? And she was like, you look healthy skinny. And I wanted to cry. I thought I looked terrible in that. It's so crazy because I definitely weigh way more now than I did even filming Guilty Party. I do not think I looked bad in that at all. I don't think weight even can correlate to bad, you know? I was so focused on the way I looked. I felt guilty. That's funny, I said I felt guilty because the show is called Guilty Party. Should have made a joke there. I know what else I'm gonna bring up. I'm gonna bring up my height. I'm 5'9". Thought I was 5'10", because one doctor rounded it up, but I measured myself and I'm actually 5'9". My life's a lie. I felt like I always was taking up too much space. Being 5'9", I had men I dated, women I dated after this that just felt insecure about my height and like took it out on me. And that kind of almost made me develop this insecurity about my height. I'm also 5'10", 5'9". And have quite a bit of body dysmorphia for my height, actually. I'm bi. Really? We didn't know from like all the rainbow flags in the back. I hadn't really found friends in LA. I would pacify myself with starting to restrict. A lot of those lifestyle YouTubers I talked to, I thought they were my friends because we collabed and I was like, well, we're friends. It's not their fault. I thought that all these people that filmed together were best friends and I was really sad when I realized that wasn't always the case. See, like the emo and LGBT friend groups I had, like I learned what a real friend was eventually in LA, but like there was a time where I only had people that were working with me. That's so sad. Like I was a teenager, you know, living alone. I could have benefited from having someone treating me like a 17-year-old and not a coworker. Before I went out and did anything, I'd have to run every night for like a mile or two. And if I was mad about something, it was like 4 or 5 miles. Sometimes 8, sometimes 9 if I was really upset. My career started to do better, and I started to actually make genuine friends in LA. Part of my very sick brain thought part of it was because I looked different. And I still have that intrusive thought a lot. Maybe less my friends, but more people online. When you're mentally ill, even if you're in a better place, you can still sometimes look for connections that aren't there. I'm also kind of neurodivergent, so like I'm always looking for connections to understand things. Sometimes I wonder if certain things happen to me because I look different now. I think I'm a way more confident person now, and I get scared that people think it's intimidating or self-centered when it really isn't that at all. I also am 24 now, so like my content might be a little more sexual sometimes because I am 24 and a lot of you guys grew up with me. I worry people think it's annoying, or sometimes people think I'm making something sexual when it's literally just the fact that I have boobs and a butt now. Clothes just fit me very differently. If it is true that people did like me more back then, that says more on society than me. I don't know. You shouldn't have to look like a child to be non-intimidating or threatening. My ex was... Not my ex-boyfriend being brought up. A little bit biphobic. Oh, he was, yeah. Oh my god, I forgot about that. He also was the same height as me, and this is so embarrassing. Well, he also cheated on you and lied about it. Sorry. Think about what I did to myself, and I would never want any person to do that, but I did it to myself. Like, why did I think I was different? That's probably what, sorry. That's probably one of the things I definitely still think about a lot. It's just, how could I hurt myself so much every day and just think I deserved that? It felt like everyone online cared, but then people in my real life didn't care. Once you get to a point where you don't do that to yourself, you're like, how could I ever? I like almost see like 5-year-old Jessie, and it's like, why would I do that to her? If you're rewatching this video, Jessie. Sorry, I wasn't expecting that. I just broke the fourth wall. You deserve the right to a good life. That's sad. And you deserve to do everything in your power to take care of yourself. It's sad. Alrighty. Oh my god. I think she'd be proud. Not to get corny, but listen, she was talking to me, I'm talking back to her. I started to get some symptoms, but I still had my period and thought everything was fine. I went on a trip, and then that was the last time it came back. I actually think I was wrong about this. Am I like gonna share this on the internet? You know what? Fine. I think the last time I got my period was on a YouTuber's couch. I didn't remember this happened. Like, my brain actually blocked this out. Like, I used to get lash extensions, and I would always listen to podcasts, and I was like, I love these 2 YouTube girls. They're super nice. They're great. They're great people. Like, please don't judge them for this. One of their videos came up. I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna listen to this while I get my whatever. It's also funny because I didn't even listen to like every episode of theirs. It was like an old one. I heard the story about me having my period on this YouTuber's couch. In this podcast, they didn't use my name. I was like, that was me. I just think that's funny. I don't know. I like forgot that happened to me. Remy Cruz, I'm so sorry. If you're watching this video for the wrong reasons, right now I'm going to talk about how horrible it was. No period. Yep. Always cold. Always cold. That's when my chest pain developed. Yeah, I would get these really scary chest pains every single night. Haven't had them since. Sometimes, like, if I get like a little, this is so girly and cute, like a little acid reflux maybe, like a little chest pain, but not like that. Oh my god. It definitely felt like it was connected to my heart, which was scary. I have a fast metabolism naturally. I don't even know if I do. I think that was one of the things I lied about a lot. I kept like saying I had a fast metabolism. Like that was what I would say. I was like, I'm naturally skinny. And I remember people like would defend me with that a lot because I said that. It's just like, things are just coming back to me and I don't know how to feel. There's just like some feelings I can't put into words. No one ever told me they thought I needed help. Yes, that is true. But there were things I found out like behind the scenes that were happening. For example, I found out after that a lot of people went to my parents concerned. Once I had a YouTuber tell me I like should milk this. This isn't someone I like ever filmed with on my channel, so don't go looking for this person. I remember I was a little disgusted by it because I was like a child and someone told me like, if you filmed a video because I'm not anorexic, it would get so many views because everyone's commenting that on your page. And I was just like, what? This was like a serious subject, not just a view count, alright. The sad thing about these photos that I'm showing is that that wasn't my lowest. God, I'm like struggling to breathe. I went on multiple trips. Overall, when it comes to content about my eating disorder, I really try to not talk about specific things I did, unless I'm like kind of just reacting to things I said I did here, but it's not gonna do anything except give someone an idea planted in their head, and I don't want that. I don't want that. But I already said it in the video, so I'll say it. I only ate fruit the whole trip. And I wouldn't even eat oatmeal because I didn't want to eat a carb or too many calories, which is like crazy because like I'm pretty sure fruits have carbs in them, but I digress. No, if anything, like oatmeal's a little too healthy for me. Like if I eat oatmeal, I'm like, that was a healthy day for me. So clearly the point is that they just like weren't unhealthy foods at all. It was no longer orthorexia, it was certainly anorexia because I was purposefully restricting. What am I doing? Am I crying? I was feeling an outfit change to get a little happier. I'm kind of here for the mid-video outfit change. I still play Club Penguin and I'm 20 years old. How was I playing Club Penguin? It wasn't still around and I didn't know about new Club Penguin. Or did I? That's so funny because I definitely wasn't playing Club Penguin then as much as I am now. I'm gonna say the numbers and things so people know the severity. Why did I share that? Okay, I'm skipping over that. Okay. I think there was a lot of like trying to prove how sick I was because I didn't believe it and I thought that everyone else would not believe it. It's just so competitive and you're just in such denial. And I felt like I had to prove to everyone that I needed it, but I did not have to do that to prove that. So I'm skipping over that for the sake of this video, but that was not fun for me. I only talk about how much weight I've gained, but I definitely don't like to talk about my lowest weight or my weight now because then people also would be able to figure it out. But I definitely like to stay away from number stuff. The only time I see the scale is when I go to the doctor, and most of the time I tell them to not show me without like having to explain my history. And unfortunately, there's a lot of doctors out there that don't take that request very seriously. But yeah, I don't do numbers. I had those holdups, but I kept going. The past 6 months, I think it's been. It was less than that, I'll tell you that much. Have been some of the hardest months of my entire life, I can easily say. I feel like I lost a lot of my personality. Definitely. When I recovered, I was like, who am I? I genuinely, at this point in my life, definitely still was obsessed and still did not know who I was. Obviously, no one completely knows who they are, but I definitely have a confidence in myself when I talk now and explore my life that I did not have at this time. Man, I just want to be funny again. I just miss that. Freaking dad branding was iconic. That made me cringe. That was really difficult to watch, guys. I'm so sorry I used to act like that. Listen, didn't Taylor Swift once say that no matter what, you're gonna look back at yourself and cringe? Mother was right. Never terrified of doctors growing up, and obviously I'm terrified now. I had the flu and had such a high fever. I was hallucinating. I had like 104.5 degree fever, which is starting to get life-threatening, and I never went to the doctor. I would just go to urgent care thinking I was dying all the time because I never had a regular doctor's appointment. I didn't want someone to sit there and tell me I had to do this or I was too underweight or anything like that. I will say at this time I was obsessed with being productive. I thought I was gonna lose my career all the time and everyone would hate me and forget about me one day, which I still do have that fear, but it was bad at this point. Oh, I just didn't even care about myself enough to go to a doctor. I went through so much and I still worked so hard. Yes. And kept my head up, and that's such motivation, and then I should do that even more now. Oh, that part's just kind of sad to watch, knowing I had such an intense relapse, so it's just Jessie!
I have a butt now. Having a butt is so fun.
All I'll say, guys, is if only she could see what she has now. That's so funny, because it was not what it is now.
You guys are literally watching me grow up, and I feel like I'm watching all of you grow up.
That's cute.
I kind of want to do like a video where I challenge fear foods. I love those.
Aw, she did do that. Okay, that's so cute.
I don't have any other secrets except
It's gonna be the Niles butt cheeks.
I had a One Direction fan account.
Yeah, you had
it
a
was
One
called
Direction fan
Niles
account about Niles butt
Cheeks.
cheeks. Gotcha. I say that way too many times, I'm realizing. Was it butt or cheeks? Really asking me important questions.
I'm here for you, and be proud of yourself. Even like the tiny things. Be proud. Yay! Bye.
I guess I'm done.
Where do I begin with that? Wow, the sun is literally down. Let me go get my studio light. Hold on. Let there be light. Okay. First thing I want to say is, if you're watching this now and you have been here since that video, I just want to thank you so much. That's insane. That is almost 5 years together. I just want to say I'm beyond grateful to you for that. Thank you so much. And that means, oh my gosh, you have basically seen two completely different people. So thank you for accepting them both, is what I want to say. I don't know. Thank you. That just means a lot to me. That video was a little bit of a hard watch at times because I do know that I relapsed pretty badly not too long after. The things that I have learned and discovered since that video, absolutely insane. That was a girl that did not know what she was getting into at all. Honestly, didn't even know exactly what she was talking about at the time. But it's okay, because you know what? Eventually I did the thing, okay? I hope you can tell I'm way more confident now, or that there's more personality. And if not, that's kind of embarrassing, because I think there is. That's like a shell of who I am now, and you're getting the whole, those like chocolate eggs. It was like the metaphor I was going for, like the Kinder eggs. Is that what they are? Aren't they banned? I'm the whole egg with the prize inside. That sounds sexual. I'm glad I've made it this far, and I'm really proud of myself, and I'm glad I can confidently say I'm in a good place now, and I have 3-4 years of proof of that, and not 2 months. A big goal of mine is to focus on who I am now without the anorexia, because I'm kind of more than just that thing I went through, and that doesn't deserve to take anything more from me. But I've really decided it's something I'm so passionate about. It was such a big part of my life. I want to keep advocating for you guys and creating that type of content. Not all the time, and not the only thing I will be posting about. Don't worry guys, you'll be getting lots of butt vids. Just kidding, none of you guys asked for that. I just give it to you guys unsolicited. Yeah, I don't know, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna feature your pages on the screen as well as your posts. I love my people, and follow my Instagram. I've been very active on there. I've been releasing music, so stream girls like you for the biggest butt cheeks. There's a plane there. That's actually me on the way to get you those cheeks. I love you all. I appreciate you all. Bye!
Lips that have kissed mine too.